As the night settles into its quiet rhythm, there is no reason for anything to change. This moment does not arrive to lead somewhere else. It does not prepare you for what comes next. Nothing is waiting to unfold. Nothing is being delayed. The night does not hold instruction. It does not offer direction. There is no task left unfinished in this moment. No invisible list to complete. The day has already released its weight, and the night does not replace it with anything. There is no need to stay mentally upright, no need to remain ready. Even the idea of effort begins to soften, and then quietly dissolve. This moment does not benefit from attention. It does not improve when observed. Nothing needs to be fixed. Nothing needs to be adjusted. The mind does not gain anything by staying involved. It gains nothing by stepping away either. Both ideas lose their meaning and gently fall apart. There is no future pulling awareness forward. No past asking to be reviewed. This moment is not a bridge. It is not a pause before something else. It stands on its own, complete. The habit of expecting begins to weaken, not because it is challenged, but because it is unnecessary. Nothing is missing from this stillness. Nothing is absent. There is no better version of now waiting to arrive. This is already enough. The mind does not need to stay alert to protect anything. There is nothing at risk. There is no advantage in staying awake. No reward for remaining aware. Awareness begins to loosen naturally, without instruction. There is no signal that says let go. Letting go happens anyway. The sense of waiting dissolves, leaving quiet behind. This quiet does not feel empty. It feels full in a way that does not need explanation. Nothing needs to happen tonight, and nothing is wrong because of it. The night does not ask for participation. It allows absence. Trying becomes irrelevant. Even the idea of trying fades. There is no reason to stay involved with thought. Thoughts lose their urgency. They appear less frequently and disappear more quickly. The mind no longer leans forward into the next moment. It no longer reaches. Everything remains evenly held, balanced. The night stays exactly as it is, unchanging. There is no instruction hidden in the quiet, no message to decode. Nothing is required to make this moment work. It is already working. Nothing needs to happen tonight, and that is enough. As the night continues without asking anything of you, there is no reason to stay involved with the moment. Nothing in this space requires your attention. Nothing improves when noticed. This moment does not ask to be experienced fully. It does not ask to be understood. There is no depth to reach, no meaning to uncover. The quiet does not hide anything beneath it. It is exactly what it appears to be. There is no task quietly waiting in the background. No responsibility left unfinished. The mind no longer needs to stay slightly awake, slightly alert. Even the smallest effort begins to feel unnecessary, and then fades. There is no benefit in monitoring your own state. No benefit in checking whether you are calm. Calm does not need to be confirmed. It does not need approval. The habit of doing something with the moment dissolves. Slowly. There is nothing to engage with and nothing to disengage from. The mind does not need to decide whether to stay present or to drift. Both choices lose their meaning and quietly disappear. Nothing in the night asks for your participation. Nothing requires your presence. The sense of being involved softens, then loosens. There is no longer a feeling of holding the moment together, no maintaining. Everything is allowed to remain exactly as it is, without supervision. The night does not collapse without your attention. It remains steady. There is no reason to stay mentally upright, no reason to keep watch. Awareness begins to thin, not because it is guided, but because it is no longer needed. There is no instruction to stop noticing. Noticing simply fades. The idea of effort loses definition, then disappears. There's no sense of progress moving forward, no sense of falling behind. Time does not need to be followed. It continues without reference. The mind does not need to track the passing of moments. Moments no longer ask to be tracked. There is no internal voice saying, "Stay here," no voice saying, "Let go." Both voices fall silent. Without being silenced, nothing in this moment benefits from clarity. Clarity becomes irrelevant. The mind does not need to understand where it is. Location no longer matters. There is no inner position to maintain, no stance to hold. Everything rests evenly, balanced. The sense of waiting disappears completely where there is nothing to wait for. This absence of waiting feels natural, expected. Nothing feels postponed, nothing feels unfinished. The night remains open, but asks nothing to be filled. There is no subtle tension left behind, no hidden readiness. The mind no longer prepares for anything. Preparation dissolves. There is no advantage in staying awake, no advantage in falling asleep. Both ideas lose importance and gently fall away. Nothing needs to happen tonight, and nothing will be missed because of it. The quiet holds everything without effort, without direction. There's no awareness required to maintain this state. It maintains itself. The mind no longer returns to check. There is nothing to check. Everything remains exactly as it is. And that is enough. As the night continues to hold everything without demand, the sense of participation fades even further. There is no longer a feeling of being involved in the moment. The moment exists on its own. Nothing asks to be held together. Nothing asks to be maintained. The mind does not need to stay lightly aware anymore. Even light awareness becomes unnecessary. The habit of staying present loosens, then quietly dissolves. There is no internal reminder to stay awake, no signal to remain attentive. Awareness no longer feels like something you are doing. It feels like something that is slowly ending. There is no concern about this ending, no resistance. The mind does not try to mark where it is. Location becomes irrelevant. There is no sense of position, no sense of orientation. Everything feels evenly spread, without a center. Thoughts no longer appear as thoughts. They fade before becoming recognizable. There is no inner space where thoughts gather. That space dissolves. The idea of noticing becomes distant, then unnecessary. Nothing in this moment asks to be observed. Nothing gains clarity from attention. The night does not require awareness to exist. It continues without it. There is no longer a feeling of being here or being elsewhere. Both ideas lose meaning. and gently fall away. Time does not feel like it is passing. It feels suspended without effort. There is no before to return to, no after to anticipate. Moments do not move forward, they remain still. The mind no longer recognizes the difference between staying and drifting. Both feel the same. There is no effort to maintain consciousness, no effort to release it. Effort itself loses definition and disappears. The sense of identity softens, then loosens. There is no thought saying this is me, no thought saying I am here. The idea of self becomes faint, then transparent. There's no tension around this fading, no fear. The night remains steady, supportive. The body stays calm, undisturbed. Breathing continues quietly. Without awareness, there is no sense of controlling the breath, no sense of following it. The rhythm exists on its own, unnoticed. Sound and silence lose distinction. They blend gently. There is no reaction to either, no preference. The mind does not turn toward anything. It does not turn away. Direction no longer exists. Only softness. Awareness becomes thin, then thinner. There is no clear moment when awareness fades. It simply no longer holds shape. The night does not mark this change. It does not need to. Nothing collapses without awareness. Everything remains. There is no longer a sense of doing, no sense of being. Both ideas dissolve together. Without effort, the mind no longer returns to check. It no longer remembers to. This quiet does not deepen. It simply remains. Nothing asks for continuation. Nothing asks for completion. Everything rests in this state evenly, without motion. There is no awareness required to hold this calm. It holds itself. The night continues, unchanged. As the night remains exactly as it is, there is no movement toward anything else. Nothing is approaching. Nothing is leaving. The sense of transition has already dissolved. There is no crossing to notice. Awareness does not drift away. It simply stops being held. There is no effort involved in this release, no decision. The mind does not choose sleep. Sleep is already present. There is no awareness of arriving anywhere, no sense of reaching a place. The body remains still, supported. Breathing continues quietly without recognition. There is no sense of maintaining this calm. It maintains itself. The night does not respond to attention. It does not require it. There is no inner voice left to comment, no narration. Thought has lost its structure and does not return. There is no sense of time passing, no sequence. Moments no longer connect. They rest evenly. There is no feeling of being awake or asleep. Both ideas have faded. The difference between awareness and rest dissolves. Softly, there is no concern about losing consciousness, no fear of letting go. The mind does not attempt to remain present. It does not attempt to disappear. Both actions are unnecessary and fall away. The night holds everything gently, without direction. Nothing in this space asks to be remembered. Nothing asks to be noticed. The idea of staying loses meaning. The idea of leaving does the same. There is no tension around this absence, no edge. The quiet does not deepen. It remains even. Sound and silence blend without contrast. Neither stands out. There is no response to either, no reaction. The body does not move. The body does not need to. Breathing remains steady, unchanged. There is no awareness of this steadiness. It continues on its own. The night remains, uninterrupted. There is no signal that marks sleep, no moment to observe. The mind does not return to check. It does not remember to. Nothing reappears. Nothing calls attention back. The state holds itself without effort, without instruction. The sense of now softens, then disappears. There is no awareness of disappearing, no recognition. Everything rests without definition, without boundary. The night continues, unchanged. Nothing needs to happen tonight, and nothing is missing. There's nothing left to notice, nothing left to hold. The sound can remain. You don't have to. Everything is already settling. This is Noxa rest. Rest comes on its own.